Okay, now my mic's on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so working on KenzieDawes.com, and I'm gonna be doing user authentication. Big thanks to Ryan Florence yesterday for helping me get user auth off the ground, so I didn't have to write a bunch of stuff myself. I just basically copied a bunch of stuff that he had from his Remix Run site that he sent me, yeah, so that is all implemented, except he creates accounts when people buy a license, and of course I'm not selling a license um, on Epic React or on KenzieDawes.com, so I don't, I'm not, I need to add user registration support. And then also I need to have a management page. This, here, let me share my screen on the live stream here. Boom. So this page right here shows the user's information, but I need to have some page for editing some of this information. And so those are the two things. Yeah, sign up, and I'll allow you to choose your team. And I'm thinking that I'm going to make it so you can't change your team. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Pull a Twitter on you. No edit. Anyway, so yeah, registration is the thing I'm going to be working on first. And I just got a message. Hold on a quick second, and I will... Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm also streaming to Discord, and you can feel free to join on the Discord or in the YouTube. Yeah, we'll see how Discord handles this. Pretty much when I do this, swiping back and forth between screens, Discord tends to really freak out about that. Yeah, I can see it now. So this may not go well. I'm not sure whether I can get it, whether the M2 chip is gonna fix that, or if it's just a weird Discord thing with external displays. I don't know. But yeah, if that gets too bad to watch on Discord, then please feel free to switch over to the YouTube. But do let me know if y'all are like, yeah, the Discord the screen share isn't gonna work, because then I'll stop sharing my screen, and maybe I'll get some more resources for my computer. Anyway, I got the dev server already running before I started streaming, so we wouldn't have to wait to get that started. I've got some endpoints that Firebase is using to do authentication and stuff. And I'm thinking I would really like to be able to mock these out so that I don't have to even be connected to the network to do this. But I have a feeling that that's not really going to be possible. Probably. So, or I mean, not reasonable, and it's not super high priority, because I've written the code in such a way that means that if you don't have access to, or if you're disconnected from the network, or you don't have the environment variable necessary to connect to my Firebase account, that you should still be able to continue working on that website, just not on the authentication piece. So it's not a huge priority for me to mock out these requests right now. So anyway, just really hope I don't accidentally click on that file. I need to figure out some way to to not have that potential reveal of all of my tokens that I'll have to go invalidate. Okay, so registration. We are inside the routes. We have this login, and I think I'm just going to have it be login for registration or login. And here's our login form. Lots of this code was written by Ryan, and I haven't gone through and refactored this. So maybe that's what I should start with first, is just refactor this to be what I want it to be. Yeah, because there's I can see what he's doing with the state machine stuff, and maybe I'll keep that. but potentially I'll change it to like a legit X state machine or something. I don't know. So I just need to think about what I want to do with that. Might be fun. Like I've never used XState, and I not in like a real capacity, and I would like to learn how to do that. And I have a feeling there will be a couple other flows in here that would be well suited for XState, so it might make sense to use XState with React. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's try that. xstatejs.org docs, and we'll see how tough this is. Okay, React, let's go. Okay, one sec. Okay. I will do this to install this package. I don't know much about the actor model. I've definitely heard of it and had it explained to me before. I don't think I've ever used it intentionally. So I don't know whether this matters for my use case or not. Yeah, I don't think that I need this right now. Well, it's certainly well documented. That's cool. But I don't think I need that. A service, I'm guessing this is just some sort of module that's responsible for, yeah, I can't remember. I think I've used a service before. Oh, interpreter. It's interesting. Okay, I think we're probably gonna start with just a simple use machine. Oh, a lazily created machine, so I can use it with props or something. That's interesting. Okay, anyway, let's just create our machine here really quick. This may be a good situation to use use test to make sure I don't break anything. The challenge is that there's not an established way to test a remix component outside of unless I separate it out into a separate component. But like a lot of the logic happens inside of these loader and action functions that are all server side. Yeah, so unless I want to figure out a good way to test this, I'd have to test this in Cypress, which is fine, except that I don't have mocking capability yet for the Firebase authentication. So there's no MSW mocks for that, so that I'd have to figure out how to mock that properly, and that basically means mocking all of these requests. Let's see, we've got a get here, a post here, that's for the token, a post for create session cookie, a get for public keys, a post for account lookup, and then another post for account lookup. So yeah, what is that, like 5 or 6 requests that I'd need to mock out and figure out what they're responding with, and it wouldn't be a bad thing to figure out how to mock those. Definitely be useful, so I could work offline and that sort of thing. But and write tests. But what do I want to work on now? I think I just want to like hack things together and make it work, and then add tests after the fact. I forgot to fill out my water bottle, so I may need to take a water break later. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna hack things together and make it work, and then we can add tests later. This may be regrettable. I mean, because I'm streaming right now, it'll be really slow anyway. So probably doesn't make too much of a difference. Okay, so here, this is going to be our login machine. Login initial. Idle. Here, we can just borrow some of the same state names that we had in here. So yeah, we've got idle and getting ID token, creating server session, and error. Yeah, okay. And this is complaining, this is ESLint, Babel new cap. Yeah. Can we just call this as create machine? Like, I don't understand. Pretty well established if it's capitalized, it's a constructor. It's confusing if it's not a constructor. I mean, you're sort of constructing something, but when you have a constructor, you use new. So I don't know. Everybody kind of has their own way to do things. So anyway, we're going to grab our state and send from this machine, our login machine. Okay. And auth method. I'm not sure I need several of these things when I have X state. Use submit is coming from React or Remix. Oh yeah, and I prefer using import star as React, and all this use state. All these should have React dot. And it just makes it easier to see whether it's a built-in hook or something else. I know I can like just memorize it all. I do have them all memorized, but I don't know. I just like having React dot in front of the built-in ones. Okay. What is this talking about? Oh, because I have a different state right here. Okay. So now this is a state. And I have my several properties on there that I can use. And I can send messages. So let's think about this. When we're in an idle state, yeah, man, I can't remember how to do all this. I even wrote my own implementation of XState, like a simple implementation. Maybe I should just read my own blog post here really quick. There's still people hanging out in the video meetup thing, so I take it that the Discord live or code share or screen share is going okay, which is nice to know. Finite state machine. Okay, state machine. I can't remember what I called it. Yeah. Simple state machine library. Come on, computer, you got this. I even made an egghead video about it. That's how much I know and how much I've forgotten already. Okay, let's just come down here to the bottom to cut to the chase here. So we have our state. These are the actions and transitions. And here's what's confusing to me is that XState has implemented so many helpers that there are multiple ways to do the same thing. It's really confusing. So I'm gonna forget that. I'm gonna just look at what their guides are. So let's look at the machine here. Okay, context. For sure, we're gonna need that. And this is gonna be our form stuff. So context. This is all the extra state that Ryan was managing with regular use state. So we have our auth method, the error, and the form values. And I think that is, yeah. So auth method, and the error, form values, and the auth method. Okay, so wonder how you type that, because the auth method can be GitHub or password. And I'd like to be able to type that. And the error will be an error or null. And the form values. So let's see TypeScript, using TypeScript. Here we go. Here we go. So you get to choose your context, light state schema. Okay. Yep. And the light event. Okay, so context schema and events. Type login context, login schema machine. And oh, by the way, I have a meeting at 2 o'clock that I can't forget. So I will be stopping streaming at 2. And I'm going to make myself an alarm for, yeah, so that I don't forget to stop. Okay, so we've got our schema and then login events. Yeah, I'm gonna switch off the Discord video screen sharing. You're welcome to still hang out in yeah, not good. Yeah, just because it was super laggy. Yeah, you're welcome to hang out still in the Discord if you want to chime in with some thoughts or whatever, but for yeah, for now, if you want to see the video, you'll have to go to YouTube. Okay. Anyway, so we've got our login stuff. login context, login machine schema, and login events. Okay, cool. So our context then is auth method, GitHub, or password. And error is an error or null. And form values is email string, password string. And actually, we're going to add a name to this eventually, but yeah, for now, that's where we're at. I would expect a TypeScript error at this point, but I think that my editor is having a hard time. Yeah, we've got a syntax error somewhere. What did I do wrong? Oh, right, it's this. Having two const state declarations is our syntax error. Yep, right there. There it was. Okay, cool. What the devil? This key read, what? What the heck? Oh my gosh. Let's come over here. Yeah, my computer is freaking out. It is having a really hard time keeping up. Man, you think that Apple will would be willing to give me a test unit of the M2 chip? No? Yeah, probably not. So basically, I don't think that I can do this. It's just too slow. I don't know. Well, let's just keep trying. Okay, so this has states. Hmm. That's interesting. So the event comes second and the state comes third. But then all right, so what is it? So we've got schema and then event. And then maybe its type state is different. Wait, create machine. Hold on a second. Oh, there is a thing called create machine. I wonder if it's just an alias. In any case, that's what I'd prefer for sure. We've got our user, we've got context, event, and state. I'm gonna go with this last one. Okay, so, this is a totally different, different thing than above. So I guess there is probably a difference between machine and create machine. So this is an FSM, finite state machine. Oh, for goodness sake. Maybe somebody's already asked this in the GitHub, maybe. I'm just, here, I can share this. Okay, we'll just see what we get from that, if anything. So I can just call create machine without the types, but it can't infer what possible values my context could be. Maybe I should just not care about this right now and just get it working first. That's probably a good idea. Just not care. Just get it working. Okay, so auth method, we'll start with password, or maybe we'll initialize that to null. Because when we're idle, we don't really have an auth method selected. So, but we will have, in fact, actually, I won't use password. I'll just have it be, well, maybe we will. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Yeah, so it'd just be GitHub and password. And then, yeah, we'll know. We'll probably need login and register, because our auth method will decide whether we call login or register or the git auth flow, or the git auth flow. Okay, but here we'll say email is an empty string and password is an empty string. Okay, let's get this thing going while we're looking at stuff. See, like, man, this just cannot find name set state on this else because my computer's just going so slow. I'm sorry, folks. I don't think that I can do this. I can't work like this. It's just too slow to stream. Like here, I guess I could quit Spotify and a couple other extras that are running. We'll just see. Okay, maybe. I'm pretty sure my streaming. See, the weird thing is that I'm only using 41% of my CPU right now, according to OBS. For the streaming stuff. My output for my video, I am streaming at that's not 4K, but it's, yeah, 1440. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could try. I wonder what happens if I stop the stream and start it up again. You all can tell me. I'm gonna stop the stream. We'll start it up again. Maybe. Oh, right. I've got this window open. That's what's going on. Okay, yeah, stand. Yeah, whoops. I'll be right back. Actually, I can probably fix this live. Let's see. Yeah, I probably should have looked at that. I'm in the corner. Unlock that preview. And fit to screen. There we go. Nice. And for this one, fit to screen. And this thing can come over here. Hello. Whoa! I want to make it half the size that it was before. Something like this. Right, there we go. Yep. Woohoo! My arm! It's chopped off. Ah! Okay, good. Now I've fixed all of those. I think this one I want to scooch over just a little bit. And we'll lock the previews again so I don't mess it up. Yeah, that one's good. So good. All right. Maybe that will make things better. We'll see. Yeah, and I'm actually gonna jump off of the Discord as well, the voice channel, and we'll just if you want to talk during this, then let me know, and we can I can open that up and you can talk. Otherwise, just chat in the Discord. But let me hang up here, disconnect. Okay. Okay, so actually, curious, is the link the same, or did they end that video and start a new one? Is this still live streaming? That's my question. End that video. Oh, sweet. It's still going on the same one. That's nice. Okay, cool. Anyway, let us move on. Hopefully things will be much better now. What the heck? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what this keyword is equivalent to undefined at top level of module and has been rewritten. That started showing up when I added the X state, so I wonder if maybe that's what is causing the trouble, maybe? I don't know. Here, let's just try this really quick. You know, I do feel like it's moving a little bit faster, so maybe that is gonna be, maybe this is gonna be better. Okay, so it is a roll-up thing. It's probably coming from the remix build, because currently it's using rollup. In the next version, it'll be using ES build. Hopefully, I was expecting it any time, so it should come soon. We're gonna look for X state. See if we've got somebody else who's filed an issue about this in X state. Nope, I don't think we do. Yeah, bummer. All right, well, we'll just, oh, there it is. This. Yep, it's right there. Why do I need to get this warning? I don't want this warning. Huh, it's interesting. Well, whatever. We'll just pretend the warning doesn't exist and see if we can figure that out later. I did get a reply to my message. And it turns out that they are mostly aliases. Machine is going to get the drop in v5. Not 100% positive on that, but quite possibly. And yeah, and then they have the different type params. So it's a little bit different. But I'm happy about this because I didn't like the capital machine anyway. And I even aliased it to create machine. So that works out. Okay, anyway, let's see if we can get this going again. So I start by building. Or I delete the previous build. I just run the new build. Again, as a reminder for those of you who are like, why is this taking so long? I'm streaming and that just like kills everything. But also, they are, this is still developer preview stuff. So I'm not surprised this takes a long time. And hopefully it will not take a long time in the future when they start thinking about developer experience a little bit more. So, Okay, I still need to figure out how to model this state machine. So actually, I know they've got the visualizer thing, so maybe I can just build it out in the visualizer. Visualize. Interesting that machine is available, but create machine is not. I mean, maybe it is. Update. Yeah, all right, fine. I'm gonna just mention this in the chat. Any reason the visualizer doesn't support create machine? Okay. So we've got our states, and now we just need to build transitions between them. And so, let's see. States inactive on toggle. So on that event, it'll go to that state. So when we are in idle, if we have, oops, a yeah, login, I think is what happens. Submit. Yeah. Submit. We're going to go to getting ID token. Watch this. Now we're going to get a little arrow. Boom. Submit. Sweet. Yeah, and from idle, you can't really transition from idle to anything else. So that is that. Here, let me bump this up, especially since I'm not doing 1440p or whatever. Sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth between my own Discord and the other one. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any messages. So getting ID token. So we're going to transition from getting an ID token to creating server session. Now, why do we have both of those states anyway? Because once we're done signing in with GitHub, get ID token from the client here. What does this do? All right, get that from the Firebase auth current user nonsense. That's interesting. I guess, yeah, that's an async operation. And then here we're calling submit. Yeah, okay, and then login is going to redirect. And so actually this is a terminal state technically, unless there's an error. Yeah, okay. So on token acquired, creating server session, and then on server session, actually this is going to do a redirect, and so this is a terminal state, I think. But yeah, we are going to have a on error. And then from here, we can transition from the error state to getting ID token. Yep. So we're idle. Somebody fills in the form. They click submit. Now we're getting the ID token. When we've gotten it, the token's been acquired. We create the server session, and that is will redirect. And so then our state machine is gone. But if we have an error, then we'll enter the error state, and then they can fix it and submit it again. Okay, that makes total sense. We're going to come down here, grab all that. Okay, so now I can transition between these states. Now I need to actually do stuff. So here, what I think I want to do is I'm just going to comment this stuff out and get rid of this. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that entirely. Now here, move the client side machine along. Yeah, so we'll need to do that, so I want to make sure I cover that. So in here, we're going to submit. Oh, right, and when we send these messages, we want to set the context as well. So here, we're setting form values as on change. I don't want to do that. I can do that in the submit handler. It's not like I'm going to show inline errors or anything like that. At least not today. So we're going to not do that. And here, let's just get rid of all this stuff. This submit might be a little interesting because that's with our state machine, all the side effects should happen within the machine, but then we've got this submit thing. So I may do a lazy machine thing so that I can use stuff from within this, but we'll see. Anyway, here we'll want to hang on to that for a second. Yeah, for Ryan, and this is all the validation you should do. The email, an email address has an @ sign and it has text before it and text after it. He says that it also should be 6 characters long, but this is a valid email address technically. And it's not 6 characters long. But I'm pretty sure you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody with, I mean, first of all, you're probably going to need an actual domain name for it to work, for me to send you an email, so we're going to need a dot. And I don't think that there's any single character domains. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's as much as validation of emails you should do. Oh, sweet. Ryan made a code sandbox for his loading button. Nice. He told me he wasn't going to give it to me because he's going to make a workshop about it. So, there it is. We'll do that. I don't know. I probably won't use his. I've got a designer who's going to work on all sorts of stuff. But, I mean, it did have really great accessibility features to it. So, anyway, I'm not going to look at it right now. That's... yeah, but thanks for sharing that, Emmer. Got a message from the XState friends. Inspector is going to replace it. Okay, cool. One second, I'm just reading through something from a friend. Just going to reply to this here really quick. Okay, cool. Um, Great. So coming back here, we have send, which we're gonna need to call in a couple places. So on submit, I actually, well, no, let's not bother with that. Let's just say, here's our value password is event current target elements password, and this will be email. And yes, the new KensiDots.com will absolutely be dark mode. I'm developing it dark mode first. So yes, it will have dark mode, never fear. Okay, so the types aren't happy about this. That's because TypeScript is having a hard time keeping up. I hate this. But we need to make a transition. So let's send, and I don't know how to call send. And it's not coming up because freaking computers are slow. We need to send the event, and then we send the payload. That's interesting. Okay. Oops. Okay, so our event is going to be getting, or submit, I think is what I called it. What I meant, Jens, by dark mode first is like mobile first development, where you develop it for mobile first and then back out of that for desktop. I'm doing the same thing, at least the way I'm working with it. I'm making everything look great with dark mode, and then I'm going to add light mode. The way that it works right now is if your OS has configured light mode, then it will show in light mode. Otherwise, it'll show in dark mode. And then I don't have any support for this now, I don't think, but I will add the ability to toggle it, and it will save in local storage or something. So, or maybe it'll save to your user account, because why not? We'll see. Okay, so we're gonna send a submit, and then form values. I can't remember what I called it. Email and password. And then our auth method password. Okay, and this is mad because our HTML form control collection, yada yada. We're gonna need to do this for sure, so I'm gonna grab React fundamentals. Yes. In the next branch, I have a great way to type a form, and I think it was an exercise second to last, whatever number that was. Yes, here we go. We're gonna get rid of this. Okay, so here we're gonna have our password and our email. And this is our login form element. And yeah, handle submit event. React synthetic. Oh, what did I? Yeah, synthetic event. Yeah. No. Hold on a second. Yeah, okay. Cool. So now this shouldn't be complaining. It shouldn't be, but it is, because it's still figuring out what this is. Password. Yeah, see, it's totally lost. My God. Okay, anyway, so that hopefully will work. We'll send the submit, and let's make sure that I've got my types all, or my data right. Yeah, form values, email, password. Cool. So let's come down here. Now our state, hold on a second. Yeah. I just need a wild CPU is what I need, because what I've got now is not doing it. Okay. Anyway, I need to determine what the state is, and I can't remember. Yeah, state.value. Yeah, that's what I want. I got state.value and state.context. That's what I'm looking for. So, state.value. If the state value is error. Okay. And then data. That's coming from use route data. I feel like that should preload the machine with the right context. Probably. So use machine. I'm gonna need a option here. Context, there we go, sweet. We're gonna move this use route data up. Context, and I guess just data. I get to choose what use route data gives me from my loader, and I'm gonna get error, logged out, or that's interesting. I think there's something mixed up here. Well, okay, so this will redirect. It'll come up here. Show the error. But it doesn't preserve the email. Okay, we'll have to look at that later. Yeah, we'll just stick with that. That's fine. Yeah, this default value, data, form values. Yeah, and we don't want a default value for the password, I think. Okay, so form is valid. That's gonna be a derived state here. State context. Oh, I just realized that he wasn't checking the email length is at least 6 characters. He's checking that the password is at least 6 characters. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. Oh, and I just remembered down here, we don't want that to be data form values. This is going to be state context form values, which will always have a value, which would be a lot nicer. So form is valid. Why are you complaining? Just because TypeScript is having a hard time keeping up. Okay. And error is going to be in state context, or actually, you know what? State value is error. Then we'll know that we have a state context error message. Okay, and on click here for the GitHub button, we're going to send submit, and the payload will include our auth method GitHub, and yeah, that's all we need for that one. Okay, so from there, when we enter this, or when we submit, okay, so this is where we got to decide. You can either do something when you transition, or you can do something when you enter a state. And somebody gave me a really good and useful way to think about this. Like, say that you're going to pour yourself a bowl of cereal for breakfast in the morning, right? Do you say, pour myself a bowl of cereal when I enter the kitchen? Or do you say, pour myself a bowl of cereal when I when I'm entering the kitchen after having woken up? So I was in my bedroom in the morning in that state, and now I'm going to the kitchen, so now I will pour myself a bowl of cereal. I don't want to necessarily pour myself a bowl of cereal every time I go into the kitchen. Every time I enter that state. It's when I'm transitioning from bedroom in the morning to being in the kitchen is when I want to do that. So anyway, in our situation, I think every time that I enter the getting ID token state, I do want to actually get that ID token. Yeah, with the current values that I have in context. So I'm going to put it as an on enter for this state. Okay, with all that said, how do we do an on enter? On enter, enter. Okay, so state node config. Let's take a look at that. Wow, you sure can do a lot of stuff with this. I think invoking services is what I want. Yeah, so you've got an onDone and onError. And a source. Yeah, I think that's probably what I want. Is this a state loading? I think it is. Can I get a complete example somewhere? I'm sure there is one. Okay, states counting. Notify count. What is this? It's the only thing on here. Okay, I kind of want a complete example. I'm gonna have to leave here in just a little bit. My goodness. I guess invoke will be called when we enter the state. That's my guess. Yeah, okay. Well, cool. So let's do this. Invoke source, and this will be what we were doing before when we're in that stage. So yeah, basically that. Okay, now we need to get the stuff from the context. And here's where it'd be really nice if I could get some help from TypeScript telling me what these arguments are. Context event, there we go. I don't need the event, just the context. So, auth method and form values from context. Okay, we sign in with one or the other. We don't even have to worry about the state that comes back from those. And then we can send. Okay, on done, I think, is where we set the target. Yep, okay. Yeah, and then errors are handled by the state machine also. So in this case, we can just return. We don't need the try. And then we'd have an on done. that says target. Now the target is going to be the next state we want to go to. It's not an event. So creating server session. May not need this on right here, I guess. I don't know, for crying out loud. I don't know. And this is complaining because it's like, what the heck? Okay, I don't think I'm going to be streaming for a while because I can't work like this. This is too hard. My tools can't give me the help that I need. So sorry, folks. I mean, maybe I'll try with Zoom because it was working better with Zoom. But yeah, streaming with OBS is just a disaster. So I've got to go anyway. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all in the future. Bye.